Several years ago, I experienced some pain in my lower left molars. I first noticed a slight pain when I ate seedy fruits or nuts. Over the course of a few months, the pain gradually increased until I eventually sought out my dentist, who fit those molars with crowns. When I left the dentist, I had a greater determination to keep my remaining teeth healthy and intact, not just because of the pain often inflicted at the dentist office, but because I prefer my natural body over anything synthetic. A few years later, I began experiencing the same familiar pain on my lower right molars, and I knew the countdown had begun. I really didn't want any more crowns. I wanted to keep my own teeth healthy and intact. But I knew what the pain meant. I saw the writing on the wall. And about this time, I learned about a substance called xylitol. I'd heard the name in the past before, but I had equated it with a chemical sugar substitute, and I had no real interest in it. But this time, I heard something more about it. I heard it was great for teeth. In fact, the woman sharing this information with me said that it eliminated or helped eliminate her son's cavities. My eyes rolled inwardly, of course, but my interest was piqued. It seemed like an oxymoron. How could a sugar substitute be good for teeth? Ridiculous. Anything that tastes like sugar could not be good for you, right? Especially your teeth. But the more I learned, the more willing I was to give xylitol a try. The pain in my teeth wasn't so bad yet that I had to schedule a dentist appointment. I had time for an experiment, put it to the test, so to speak. For breakfast, I began sprinkling xylitol on 2 pieces of toast with cinnamon. I ate this for breakfast every day. After 3 months, I told my husband, I can't tell for sure, but I think it might be working. But it's too soon to tell. After 6 months of eating xylitol and cinnamon on my toast for breakfast, the pain was entirely gone, even when I ate nuts and seeds. I couldn't wait to tell the woman who had told me about xylitol. She celebrated with me and asked how I was taking it. I told her I was eating it on my toast for breakfast every day. She commented that that was so interesting because studies recommended contact with teeth for at least 5 to 3 minutes 3 times a day. We speculated that I could have had a quicker response if I had eaten it multiple times a day. After my success, I redesigned my breakfast habit, which didn't include xylitol. Then, a few years later, that same familiar pain was back in my lower right molars, and I realized I'd gotten out of the habit of eating xylitol regularly. During my next dental cleaning appointment, the dentist came in to look over the state of my teeth. He said I could plan on gearing up for crowns for the lower right molars at my next 6-month visit. And I thought to myself, no, thank you. I want to keep my own teeth. I started sprinkling about half a teaspoon of xylitol on a bowl of fruit for breakfast each morning. This time, I had high hopes of the results I could expect. 6 months later, there was no talk of crowns at my next dental appointment. In fact, my dental hygienist commented on the hardness of my enamel, saying it was especially strong for someone my age. When I told her what I'd been doing, she said with a frown, "Oh, that's been debunked." She had read an article that said you'd have to chew something like 11 pieces of gum multiple times a day to get even the slightest effect. Undaunted by her authoritative dental hygienist's demeanor, I pushed on, championing the benefits of xylitol, weighted by my own personal experience. I could see through the bright lights and protective gear that she still wasn't convinced. I reminded myself that this is the same office that gave me my crowns. I took her back in time, reviewing my dental history and reminding her of the dentist's prognosis for my molars. Her demeanor softened as she considered my words, and after a few moments she quipped, "Well, whatever you're doing, it seems to be working." It was really incredible. After my second experiment, all pain I had experienced was gone again. This time around, I committed to keeping xylitol in my daily routine. What is xylitol exactly? Xylitol is a sugar alcohol sourced mainly from corn cobs and birch trees. But don't be fooled or misled by the label sugar alcohol. It's neither sugar nor alcohol, but a hybrid of both. You may be wondering, as I did, if xylitol is so fabulous, why doesn't everyone know about it? I'm still wondering this myself, but I have a few ideas. My first thought is, Directions are often lost in translation, meaning we hear about something, use it, and if we don't receive the expected results immediately, we conclude that the product claims must be fallacious. But consider this. If we utilize something the wrong way or not as directed, we are unlikely to receive the expected results. Research shows that xylitol use works best when consumed multiple times a day. My theory that I could have had faster results had I understood this direction might actually be accurate. As for the chemistry, all you probably really want to know is that sugar alcohols fall into the carbohydrate category. Xylitol was discovered in 1891 by a German chemist, A. Emil Fischer. It wasn't until sugar rationing during World War II, however, that xylitol became a mainstay in many homes in Europe. Since the 1970s, thousands of studies have been performed on the various positive effects of xylitol use. These studies conclude that xylitol contains roughly 40% fewer calories than sugar. It measures between 7 and 13 on the glycemic index. The glycemic index ranks food from 1 to 100 based on their effects of the blood sugar levels. The body does not require insulin to metabolize xylitol. Xylitol is an alkalizing agent and therefore decreases the acidity in the body. Xylitol reduces tooth decay by preventing harmful bacteria from adhering to teeth. It helps repair damage to enamel. Xylitol reduces respiratory infections by preventing harmful bacteria from adhering to tissues, if accompanied by ginseng and consumed on a regular basis. Xylitol supports the immune system against viruses and infections, and it may support bone mineral density. Xylitol is anti-inflammatory. P.S. I believe you can expect the same outcome from xylitol made from either birch or corn. However, having said this, I prefer to use xylitol from birch because it never runs the risk of being genetically modified.